Good morning. The wheel is turning. Aha, it says we are live. Hello, good morning, good morning. Happy Fairy Friday. Oh, I missed you last week. Thank you for all the kind messages wishing me to feel better. I do. Hooray. Margaret Sample here, coming to you from the beautiful Niagara region of Ontario in Canada. Um, Almost every Friday morning, I come and bring you messages from the fairy kingdom using Brian Froud's beautiful fairy oracle deck. I always like to say, sometimes I see the comments, sometimes I don't. I'm really hoping I do because I love when I get to see them. Um, but I always look for them afterwards if I don't see them coming in while I'm live. Also, whether you are watching this video live or on replay, it is because the message is for you. And that's just how it works. And actually, it was funny last week. I thought, wow, you know what? I've got all sorts of recorded Fairy Fridays on my website, and so if you're ever looking for a quickie reading, you can go to the page, as I suggested people do last week. Go to my website, www.margaretsample.com, and go to the Fairy Friday page, and then either with your on your phone, scroll, or on your cursor, just sort of like, you know, make it go and let it see where it lands, and allow yourself to have a message that way. Okay. Of course, you can always order one through my store, a single card reading, but that doesn't happen immediately. Okay, because I'm human, not a machine. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let us, without further ado, shuffle the cards and see who has a message this week. Sometimes it takes longer than others for someone to jump forward. Ah! There we go. Ooh. Losgunna. Isn't she beautiful? And look at all the characters around her. Losgunna is the frog queen, and she's one of the fairy guides and guardians. They help us with our own special talents, gifts, and inner magic, help us to work with our sense of humor, to live more harmoniously and joyfully with nature. And they also are the ones that, if you're starting to get a little bit smug or full of yourself or whatever, they'll just sort of pop that balloon of illusion, so that you can sort of see who you are, and true dignity, right? They're about true dignity, which comes from being kind and showing respect and consideration for ourselves and others. I'm just going to check and see if I can click on this. Oh. Let's see. Okay. I clicked on something on comment moderation, hoping that might allow me to see things. We'll see. Anyway, so fairies are with all the different elements, right? They all have their own kind of element that they hang out with. And with fairy, there's 5 elements: air, water, fire, earth, and moonlight. And Losgunna is one of the water connected and earth at the same time, right? Because frogs are kind of both connections, but I feel she's more water, and they often call water fairies undines, Undine, undine. Anyway, so that's just a little bit of trivia for you. Losgunna is about discovery of self and adventure. Woohoo! Her realm is very extensive because it is both above and below the fairy waters. And fairy waters are made up of human emotions. So, water and is the element of emotion, right? And the waters that the fairies get to play in or be in are sometimes very clear and sparkly, and sometimes they are murky, depending on what we're putting out and where they are, right? You know that. So there's some fairies that would never go close to the murky waters, but then there's some fairies that you can imagine, not like Soul Guy. They Some of them would not be really close to the bright ones. So, but she is pretty comfortable in any water, and she knows that sometimes there are treasures to be found in the murkiest of waters. They may have been abandoned, they may have been lost. But sometimes hidden in the murky depths are treasures. And that works for us too, right? So it's time, when she comes forward, it is time to explore who you really are, warts and all. And you will probably discover when you go inside and really start looking, there are parts of your talents and potentials that have been hidden away, either by old traumas or misunderstandings or lack of opportunity. But if you go in those deep dives inside, you may well find some real sparkly treasures or some beautiful pearls of wisdom. Losgunna wants us to dive deeply into our inner self, but also into new experiences. Okay, so she's kind of like, yes, look at what there is, but seek out what there might be. New sights, new sounds, new experiences, new ideas, and as well, explore the territory that you live in. Because sometimes, well, now for sure, we are kind of close to home, right? So explore those places. Sometimes you never go to the touristy things that are close to you, or the neat things like a botanical garden or something, except when you have guests from out of town. But why not go there just yourself to explore and see what you can find? Life is always adventurous for adventurous people, and it is often boring for boring people. So be adventurous. If you feel bored or boring or stuck in the mud, explore the puddle that you're in with new eyes, or jump out of it. And I like all the other little characters that are in here too. And you'll see some of them are holding little orbs, and some of them look mischievous, and some of them look joyful, and some of them look very pensive. These are all things that we can find in ourselves and bring out, right? The thing about frogs too that's always important to remind people of when a frog of any kind, including a frog queen, comes forward, frogs transform all the time. They start out as eggs, and then they go to tadpoles, and then they are pollywogs, and then they are frogs. Pretty sure I've got that order correct. But they are always changing. Frogs, you can hear them croaking. I'm in the country, so they near a pond, and have been listening to them sing some of the warm nights we've had recently, and it's just amazing. They're very noisy at this time of year, looking for a friend. But also, when I go walking along past the pond, it can be very still, and all of a sudden you hear this plop, or sometimes you get to see them because they blend in too. But then they take their frogs are really interesting. Anyway, it's also time for you to pay attention to your dreams. When she shows up, time to pay attention to your dreams. What are those dreams that you've maybe put away, set aside? Too crazy, not possible. Hey, why not try some aspect of it? She also suggests that to feel better, to grow, to connect with yourself, baths, hot tubs, lakes, oceans, whatever water you can get into. Um, I've been finding that every week, almost every week, I will have a hot saltwater bath because it takes away all that stuff that isn't mine and refreshes and cleanses. That's why oceans for me are so healing. I find that a lot. So she wants you to explore your inner realms and also your outer realms. Maybe go somewhere you've never been, um, take a class in something new. It is time to get unstuck. Discovery of self, adventure, those are her key words, okay? So it's time to get unstuck, get out of your mud puddle before maybe a different fairy like, say, Gotcha, comes along and decides to liberate us from our stuck position. You know, some of the fairies really push. Losgunna encourages us to explore for ourselves and perhaps jump rather than be pushed. Um, it's really kind of neat. I've been trying some different things recently. You can see behind me my work table, my energy work table is also where I create my bracelets. You guys know I make bracelets. But I've also, this week I thought I'd show you because I'm very excited about them. I've started making gemstone necklaces, pendants. I'm going to even see if I can do some as, isn't that beautiful? That's Baltic amber. Oh, the first one was blue lace agate, rose quartz. I'm just having so much fun with it. Anyway, at some point I'll figure out how to put them up on my store. You can message me if you're curious. But trying something different. And then also I've gone back into playing piano. So that's a dream of mine. It's something I love that's sort of gotten set aside quite a bit. So pulling that forward and going back to writing songs, it's like, ooh, it's exciting. So these are things, they're little things, but so it's kind of neat that she's coming along so that I can share with you what I'm trying to do new, which is kind of neat because I hadn't, obviously I didn't know who was going to come forward. I wanted to show you my bracelet or my necklaces though, because I'm excited about something new and different, creatively and energetically. Okay, anything else? Even frogs can have wings. Even frog queens can have wings. And sometimes, you know, you may have somebody you think is a frog, but give them some love and they may turn out to be a frog queen or a frog prince. And that includes yourself. Okay? I'm really being drawn. Somebody really needs to hear you need to love yourself. You need to be more gentle with yourself. And look inside. There are some beautiful, fun things about you that you've lost connection with. Get in alignment. Okay? I think that's it. I will go and see if there are comments afterwards. Thank you all for watching live or on replay. And happy Fairy Friday. Love to all. Bye for now.